Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jether Hillam, and welcome to Man of Momentum's Top 10 Robot Bad Guys. Now, I realize this isn't what was supposed to be the next video. Is that English? We'll take it. And I need to do this video for school, actually, and so I figured I might as well just put it on the main channel instead of hiding it on a private channel for no real reason. Now, the reason I chose this topic specifically is because ever since I was little, I've had an odd obsession with evil robots. Now, as is the case with all of these nerdy top 10 lists, this is not an objective ranking, and there are some more famous evil robots that I didn't put on the list because I personally am not familiar with them enough for them to rank above what I am familiar with. And the only hard and fast rule I followed was that I couldn't pick two robots from the same franchise. Alright, that appears to be everything, so let's jump. Excuse me. No, it's not possible. No! The robots from Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow at number 10. Yeah! To be honest, these are probably the dinkiest looking machines on this list. But my dad showed me this movie when I was little, hoping my robot-obsessed self would enjoy the robots, and he was right. And enjoyed them so much I did that these robots were a big inspiration for why I got so into sci-fi and storytelling in general. At number 9, we have the Cylons from Battlestar Galactica. Now, as far as I know, both this show and its reboot were very big back in the day, but both the show and the reboot were also before my time. But when I started getting really into world building, by the way, I'm really into world building, talking about Cylon lore was one of the ways my dad would try to participate in and encourage my passions, and it was a really nice way to connect for us. And admittedly, they look cool, okay? With the swipey eye and it's good costume design. It's A+. At number 8, we have the Sentinels from The Matrix. So, I didn't really appreciate The Matrix that much. I don't get it. It's a little existential for me. The Sentinels, though, are awesome. You have all the best features of an octopus, an insect, and a machine bundled up into one convenient package. Plus, just like with the Cylons, me and my dad would talk about the lore of the Sentinels and the machines in Matrix in general, and that was a real way for us to connect. Deep Rock Galactic is a game I absolutely adore. You play as one of 4 dwarves in a squad that are mining an asteroid in space. Yes, dwarves. Mining an asteroid. In space. After hopping inside a massive drill and tunneling below the planet's surface, you find yourself in a cave system with a variety of tasks to complete, whether that be killing local aliens or collecting local resources, whether that be tapping off massive geysers or just mining ore. In one particular mode, called Industrial Sabotage, your job is to steal data from a rival company that allegedly isn't supposed to be there. Now, that shouldn't really be a problem for a bunch of dwarves that willingly dive into an alien-infested asteroid just to collect some nice rocks. But this data is locked inside a vault, and that vault is protected by a massive force field. You can disable the force field, but once you do...
The force field is down, but watch it. The caretaker is not going to...
Here we go!
Destroy it before it...
Ah! What am I doing? Why am I doing this? What? Oh! Nope, no, that was a mistake.
Shoot the caretaker's big glowing eye!
No, it's not. Oh, boy. Ow. Oh, I didn't build it. Ow! Ow. Oh, there's a... Oh, hey! Ow! Yeah! Get God! Get God! Get God! See that? See that right there? That is the robot probe from Monsters vs. Aliens. This thing manages to fit into the movie's more cartoony aesthetics while still looking just cool. I can imagine it would be difficult to make something so genuinely imposing without ruining the overall vibe of the movie. But they don't just pull it off, they pull it off. When the protagonists fight it on the Golden Gate Bridge, they manage to have some pretty funny moments without once sacrificing the robot's intimidating nature. How? Just how? So, a big reason I'm so fascinated with evil robots is that when I was little, I wanted to be a mad scientist when I grew up. It should be no surprise then that on this list we have a character that is both an evil robot and a mad scientist. Suffice it to say, Shockwave from Transformers Prime is my number 5 pick. I mean, this guy is literally a tank. He has got a tank's gun for an arm, and yet he's still got this cold, calculating scientist thing going on. It's really fun. I might add, it's very impressive that they had such a stiff machine-like character that still felt like a character next to a cast of a bunch of machines that acted like regular people. Alright, now we've got the big guns. At number 4, we have the autopilot from Pixar's WALL-E. Now, I'll be the first to admit that HAL 9000 is clearly a big inspiration for the autopilot. I haven't seen 2001, but just look at them. Just look at the two. Yeah. Now, in a fun movie full of robots that are basically human characters, it is quite fun to have the bad guy be a full-on emotionless machine. Or, so it seems. A big theme throughout WALL-E is robots showing more emotion and having more personality as they interact with WALL-E. And the autopilot can't escape this either, as he shows signs of going just a little bit mad with power with this whole A113 situation. And I think the fact that even Otto is having some human struggles really enforces a lot of the movie's messaging. So at number 3, we have the Fabricator machine from 9, and this guy is just great. It's just the way it moves around. It effortlessly manipulates its surroundings to just make stuff, and that's interesting to watch. And again, wanted to make robots, wanted to be a mad scientist, so a robot that builds robots is a really fun idea to me, and this one just looks so awesome while doing it. So at number 2, we have the Omnidroid from Incredibles. Now this is because, for me, the Omnidroid just does too many things well. I've always preferred supervillains that had no powers and just through sheer intellectual might were a match for their superpowered enemies anyway. Well, guess what, bucko? Not only was the Omnidroid built by one of those intelligent villains, it kind of is one? Despite the fact that it has no voice, it can't speak, the creators of the movie managed to make it very clear that it is learning from everything it's seeing, and learning fast. It looks awesome, of course, it's just a ball with legs, but they managed to make that look really great. Its role in the plot is great, and I love that when they first brought Mr. Incredible in to fight it, their cover story was that it got so smart it started wondering why it had to obey them, and then later on in the movie, it actually got so smart it started wondering why it had to obey them. So I tried not to. I really tried. But after how influential it's been in my life, I could really give the number 1 spot on this list to nothing else. B1 Battle Droid. Something B1 Battle Droid. To be honest, I kind of don't get why I like B1 Battle Droids so much. In the actual franchise, they look okay, but then, they're completely useless. But for some reason, from the very first time I heard Roger Roger, I was hooked. Okay, so maybe I can explain why I like them. First of all, they're very funny, especially in the Clone Wars. Secondly, of course the guy making a top 10 evil robots list is fascinated with the Separatists in Star Wars. I mean, Robot Army? Yes, please. Funny Robot Army. Double yes, please. Plus, they do actually have one really cool scene. Namely in Phantom Menace when they're unloading from the MTTs. Just the music and the way they move in synchrony and the way the Gungans are like, oh no. Chef's kiss. Best thing any of the robots in this list have done. I'm not joking about that. The amount of times I've made my brothers reenact that sequence with me is ludicrous. It's just amazing.
Now, a couple of years ago, I was diagnosed with autism, and when I was young, I hadn't been diagnosed yet, but I think it did interfere with my young life a little bit. I never had many friends at school, and I don't know, I guess the sort of the way the battle droids interacted with the world kind of reminded me about how I interacted with the world, and so I think I have felt a little kinship with them ever since.
And that's all of them. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, if you want to, you can feel free to put your own top 10 robots in the comments. And while my current school schedule makes consistent uploading a low priority, if you're feeling patient, you can feel free to subscribe and hit the bell for more videos of such nature. This has been Jether Hillam, the Man of Momentum, signing off.